All right, morning guys. Group of geese flying over. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear them or not. We got one coming right at us. Let's see how close they get, if they turn or not. Yeah, they split going around us. Maybe close enough for you guys to see. Right over top of that big tree there. Camera may not pick them up, but anyway guys, we're out here at this ditch. This is the first morning. Looks like we're not going to have anything here. I believe this is check day 6, and we've got, I just looked at my notes, and we have gotten 10 beaver out of this little section of ditch, and there's not much water in it. A guy pulling up here just seen it for the first time. I wouldn't think there'd be 10 beavers live in this little section of ditch, but what happened is the farmer got in here right before we got over here and got our traps set and busted the dams. So if I had to guess, I would say this dam was one that they had made when they first started moving in here, and then as they made other dams, it made the water rise high enough that it covered this whole dam, but the dam was still there just underneath the water. And then once they drained everything, the farmers left this dam because they couldn't see this dam. So the beavers just had to go all the way back to the beginning and start over. So actually they were living in this ditch on farther up here, probably a good 400 or 500 yards on down this ditch is where the beaver originally were living. And then when the farmer come in, broke the dam, it pushed those beaver all the way back down to where they began, back down here to this dam. But anyway guys, I'm not seeing any ripples coming out of the culvert. I'm going to check it, get down there just to make sure there's not one in it. If there's a small beaver, possibility that it's out here drowned. If we do have the catch, there's some more left in here, I'll show you guys. We've got some pretty severe storms supposed to be here mid-afternoon, so I'm going to get these traps run today. We're not going to put any new sets out. We're going to leave this ditch set until after the storms, and then if we don't catch anything tomorrow, and it's not just a miserable day, we'll probably go ahead and pull these traps, get them out here. If for some reason we get a ton of rain, everything's underwater, then we'll just have to wait until a good time to get there and pull. But anyway guys, hang tight, and we'll see what we got this morning. Maybe those mink sets produce something. Alright guys, our stick's still up, so our trap's still set. I can actually see the pan on it, so it's opened up there. Cables still slack, the stick's up here. Look down here at these holes, and both of those sticks are still standing too, so nothing here. Guys, I want to mention again, the way I do things, me out here on my trap line is just, I'm sharing with you guys. I'm just a guy that likes trapping, that's got a camera in my hand. I'm just documenting my journey for me and mine, and you guys are getting to go along on the ride with me. The way I do things, not necessarily, it's not the only way to do things for sure, but I'm not going to tell you it's the only way, and it's I'm always changing. I may do something I showed you here this time, and then next time I'm doing something else. I'm always looking for a way to get faster, more efficient, easier. Especially the older I get, guys, easier is a big thing. Up and down these ditches, wading through this mud. If I can find something that makes it easier on me, where I'm able to keep doing something I love, I'm going to change and do that. So that's kind of where I'm at on my trap line. But I took those springs off of that trap yesterday, and I'm paying for it this morning. You know, my finger's pretty sore, stiff. You know, it didn't go as I wanted it to go, but I got those springs off of there. You know, it may have been better to use the other side, try to pry the other side off those springs. Now, I've tried it before, and the way I did it seemed to be a little bit easier for me, but for you, it may be opposite. So don't take what I'm telling you guys to be the only way to do it. You want to know the secret to trapping? You know, everybody is always asking, what's the perfect bait? What's the perfect lure? What's the perfect set? I'm gonna tell you a big secret to trapping. Get out and do it. Next chance you get, next weekend when you're off work, next free day you have, instead of sitting behind that TV and watching me on YouTube out here on my line, go somewhere and walk around and look. Think about starting your own line. Think about catching your own animals. The trick to trapping, the big secret to trapping, is just getting out and doing it. That's it, guys. That's all there is to it. Yeah, you're going to make a bunch of mistakes. You're going to learn a lot of lessons, but you're going to get good at it by doing it. And you're going to pick up little tips and tricks that work for you, that if you're in Montana, if you're in New York State, it may be different than the way I do things down here in Arkansas. But the basics are going to be the same. And those basics are basically putting that trap where that animal's going to put his foot in it. That's it. Whatever it takes. You got to learn the animal you're wanting to trap. You know, I'm pretty familiar with beaver, and I feel real comfortable catching beaver. I understand their habits, their moves, why they do what they do. You know, coyotes, coyotes and canines, I feel pretty comfortable with, but not to the level that I do with beavers. You know, I've caught mink, and I understand a little bit of the habits of mink, you know, but I'm wanting to catch some mink, so I got some mink sets out. And I'm wanting to learn that animal more. Well, instead of YouTubing, if you're want to learn about trapping, instead of YouTubing TS85 beaver trap, get on there and search for beaver habits. Watch some documentary on beavers living in their hut, raising babies, working a dam, building a dam. That you're going to learn more from watching those animals than you are from me out here showing you my trap line. I promise. Now, you'll pick up tips and tricks and see little things that may help you by watching me run my line, but you're going to learn more about the animal you want to catch by going and looking up the habits of those animals. Get a book about that animal, read it. Why does that animal do that? That's the key to trapping, is understanding the animal you're wanting to catch. Why does he do what he does? When does he do it? What time of year does his habits change? And I mentioned it before in other videos too, guys. Most animals, I mean, they're alive for three things: food, water, and mating season. That's the three big things that dictate what an animal's movement's going to be. But anyway, nothing here. I'm gonna keep on moving, guys. I'll get down here and check this drowning rod. We may have our first day with no catches, and to be perfectly honest, we're a week into this. My old body's already wore out, so I'm not gonna be upset with no catches this morning, if that's what it is. I've got some fur I need to get put on hoops, some beavers in the freezer. I need to get them worked, get them done. So, man, these non-catch days for me sometimes is a blessing. But anyway, guys, we're going to keep moving, and we got storms coming, so it's kind of hard to believe right now looking at the skyline. Sun's out. It's a little chilly out here this morning, but I think we got a warm front pushing up from the south, going to collide with this cold front, and possibly some pretty good tornadoes and stuff this evening. I think they were saying around 2 or 3 o'clock when it's going to get in my area. But anyway, I want to be done with all this and back at the house when that gets here. So we'll catch up with you guys on down the road here. All right, guys, we're here where we threw those carcasses over in that ditch yesterday, and you guys will notice we got a couple of them. Matter of fact, a total of 3 of them are completely drug out of that ditch. So yesterday is when we done that. I told you guys it wouldn't take long for those animals to find them, and it took exactly about 12 hours for those animals to find this carcass pile and start using it as a food source. So now all we would have to do is come in here and place our sets in this area with food in a dirt hole, and we'd have those predators picked up. You know, you'll know you've got a bobcat. Let's say walk around this area, and you know, I threw those carcasses in this ditch, and I can look right down here somewhere, and I can see where one's been buried. Or if you got some tall grass and you see it laying here with a bunch of this grass and stuff kind of pulled up over the top of it, it's going to be a bobcat. You know, right here, this area right here is completely worked over, scratched around. I'm betting this is going to be coyotes, where they come up here. You know, they're eating, they're tugging, there's probably maybe a couple of pups, and they're fighting a little bit. You know, everybody, if you guys have got a dog, you've seen that dog come up here and pee, hike his leg and pee, and then when he gets done, he starts scratching his leg. That's what this area is. That coyote was just marking this area as, hey, this is mine. You know, whether it'll work or not for him, that's a different case, but that's what he was doing. And we want to take advantage of that. So we created that situation. By throwing those scraps out here, we created a situation where we know that the animals are going to be now. Anyway, guys, I'm going to ease on up here. I got one more pile up here. I'm going to check it, see what it looks like. And then we're going to get over there and check that big ditch where the muskrats are at. All right, guys. This intersection right over here, last year, I don't know if you guys will remember it or not, I made a set right here on this corner, and we got a big rain, and the corner of this field flooded back over the top of my trap. But I ended up catching a bobcat right here on the side of this ditch. That was that young bobcat that I turned loose, and it sat there and filmed him for a long time before he ran off, and he finally took off running down this field road back toward that field tank. But you guys might recognize this area. But same thing here. These are the carcasses I threw out yesterday. This is a lot smaller ditch, but they're just laying here. And it doesn't look like anything was in here last night, so we may have had them all concentrated down there in that other pile. But just make you a few piles, and it's going to benefit you guys. You know, ideally, this group of woods over here probably would have been a better place to throw those carcasses. Instead of this open area, this ditch. But I'm not going that direction. I'm going this direction. So I want to put this pile in my route somewhere. Now when I get back over here, if I start setting for predators, I may shift it a little bit back over there to put those carcasses in that wood area, because you guys can tell it's the only wood lot anywhere around this area besides these ditches. So that's where a lot of the animals are going to be. They're going to be running these ditches. They're going to be in these wood lots. So if your area is like mine, that's the areas you want to target if you're after some predators. Right here's a little piece of meat, guys, that something's pulled off one of those carcasses and drug up here in the road. So they're working. No doubt they're working. Anyway, I get over here. Not expecting much really today, guys. I'm hoping possibly that mink set. Had a mink try to come through there last night, and hopefully we got a mink caught over there. Maybe, you know, I've kind of lost hope in being a pair beaver in that ditch. We only picked up one, but maybe we'll pick the other one up today. Maybe we'll have another otter. Maybe we'll have some muskrats. You just never know. Maybe we pick something up on the other side of that dam in this thing. Anyway, guys, that's what's fun about trapping. You never know what's going to happen. It's always exciting, always different, always learning. And if I ever get tired of any of that, guys, I won't be a trapper anymore. But y'all hang tight. We'll get over and get it checked. All right, guys, we made it down here. What do y'all think? We're gonna have a catch in here. That's what's fun about this. It's like Christmas morning every time you make a set. One night, you can't wait to get over there and get it checked and see if your work paid off and if you got a catch. But anyway, made it down here. Can't tell anything yet. Right there's our hole. And a frog right there. And guys, just looking in there, I don't see my trap. So get this camera on my head, step off in here, see if we can figure out what's going on. Okay, trap is there, guys. Trap is still sitting there. You can tell some of my meat has washed off of that shelf. Oh man, got excited there for a minute, guys. I'll check over here on this trap since we're down in here now. It's still sitting there, right where we put it. So nothing this morning, guys. We'll have to wait another morning, do it again tomorrow. But, thought there for a second we might have had us a mink. All right, get up here and we're gonna get the rest of these. Alright guys, either my eyes ain't working this morning or something's up. I drove by this trap, looked down there trying to specifically lay eyes on those jaws on this 330. Alright, it's still there. Maybe it's just the direction the sun's in. But I went past it and backed up, past it and backed up. I could tell, you know, my dive stick wasn't disturbed, but I never could physically see those jaws on that trap. So, keep on moving down through here and check these other ones. Now that one is down, guys. That one has got something in it. I can see some fur. Looks like a, I'm not sure what that is. I ain't 100% sure that it's fur. I'm thinking we may have just caught our first turtle of the year. I'll ease down here and see what it is. Yep, got us a turtle there, guys. So that turtle was trying to ease his way up this ditch, and we had a surprise waiting for him this morning. So that shell had done exactly what it was designed to do for this feller, and protected him. So we're gonna give him a little bit of help this morning and get him on his way. Held him up long enough, I reckon. All right, there he is, guys. Didn't crack his shell, didn't hurt him in the least bit. He just tucked in and for the night, had to spend the night where he didn't want to, and we'll get him on his way. Let him get going. Hopefully he doesn't decide to go backwards and he's only going through this little section right here, or we may get to see him tomorrow morning. So if that's the case, we're going to give him a good education on his trip through this part of the ditch. Guys, I can see my foothold. The cable's not taut. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean we don't have a catch. Looks like my 330 is tripped down here. Snare's still set. Our 330 is tripped. Nothing in it, so we had another one of those. We know there's still a few muskrats in here. Had one of them slip through there without getting caught. Alright guys, I wanted to readjust this snare just to show you guys that you don't have to have anything special. You don't have to have all the extra equipment to catch animals. All you got to have is a mechanism that's going to catch them and hold them, and animals in the area. That's it, guys. It's all you got to have. Whether that mechanism be a snare, whether that mechanism be a foothold trap, whether that mechanism be a conibear trap, that's all you got to have. That's the only thing you've got to have besides the animal, an animal that's visiting that area. So if I was trying to catch a let's say I'm after a a fisher. I want to catch a fisher. This trap is set to catch a fisher, guys. I'm going to catch a fisher with a snare. You know what? I'm going to be highly disappointed because there ain't any fisher in Arkansas. So I'm just wasting my time. If I'm determined that I'm going to catch a fisher in this snare, then, man, am I going to be disappointed. But you know what? I do have in my area, I've got bobcats and coyotes, and they're going to be using this trail. And I've got this one little snare, this one little piece of cable. I don't have any wire for a stand, so I just broke a branch off this tree that's right here, and I'm using the branch of that tree and that collar to hold that snare up on that limb. And I don't have to have all that extra stuff, guys. Oh, I just seen something else too that I've been missing. Guys, we've had that run set over there all this time. We caught that one beaver and that was it. Well, look right here this morning. We've got fresh mud right down here at the bottom of this little run. So what those beavers have done is they've avoided that area. It may have been because that colt was there all night, so something used this side. But we now have a new slide here that wasn't originally on this dam. A new crossover. So I'm gonna run up here in a truck, grab another 330, and we're gonna get that 330 bedded down here in this little run and see if we can figure out what we've been missing, hadn't been catching, because they've outsmarted us. But anyway, guys, back to that snare. I mean, that's all you need. All you need is the basics. Are you gonna catch numbers? Maybe not. Are you going to just go out and slam them? Maybe not. But you know what? If you're learning and you're trying to figure that animal out and you're just trying to build your skill up so you'll be better next year, Don't worry about all that extra stuff, guys. All you got to worry about is the mechanism to catch them, and is the animal you're wanting to catch in that area to be caught. That's it. That's the two things you need. So get out and try it. All right, I'm gonna grab another 330 real quick, guys, and we're gonna ease down there and get that set. All right, guys, simple 330, one trap, mechanism to catch them and hold them. Got me a stake so I can anchor. I don't even need this stake. All I would need, guys, is a big log. I could drag me a big limb over here, anchor to that big limb, and that animal's not going to drag that big limb very far. This trap's designed to kill them. So yeah, that's all that I would need. This stake is just extra stuff I've got to carry around and keep with me. But that being said, all that extra stuff is where it gets to where I was talking about earlier. It's makes it easier. It makes it quicker. It makes it more efficient. So yeah, all that extra stuff is nice, but not necessary. So something that's more important, learning that animal and learning his habits, getting out and starting to catch a few, that is 100 times more important than all that other stuff, guys. All that extra. Now we've got that run set with that 330, and hopefully they're done outsmarting us and we'll have something caught here in the morning. But we'll move on along, guys, get them last locations checked, and I'll get back with you when we get over there. All right, guys, well, at least we're not going home empty-handed. Down here we adjusted the springs on that Duke trap yesterday. We've got a beaver, looks like a beaver floating there. It's a pretty small one. Could be a big muskrat, but I'm pretty sure it's a beaver. But I'm gonna get down here and get to it. It didn't even go down the sliding rod. That trap was so heavy, whatever that is, that animal didn't have enough size and ump to him to even get that thing down the drowning rod. But it is drowned there. So I'm gonna climb down here and we'll see what we got. I just looked in the truck for some castor, and when I swapped trucks the other day, I guess I left every bottle of castor that I had in that other truck, so I don't have any with me. I was gonna bait that with some more castor this morning, but it's pretty obvious we didn't need it. We made a catch down here, so no big deal. But yeah, it's gonna be a beaver, guys, a small beaver there. So we still only got, that makes number 2 out of this location. We got one of the bigger beavers. Yeah, so we've only caught the one adult beaver in here. This is going to be a small one here. Actually, you know what? It's not going to be a small beaver. I don't know what happened here. It is drowned. Okay, so we got a catch on it, and what's happened, guys, is that trap being so heavy. All right, so this is going to probably be the other young 2-year-old in this group. So what happened, guys, is a beaver come up here, got in that trap, got caught back foot, and it went to take off, and it come around this stake that was sticking up. So instead of going down our drowning rod like we wanted it to, it got tangled up here on this stake that's sticking up. So then okay, it got caught, went down, went under the rod, come back up, and then went around our stake and got caught, because this trap is wrapped around that rod. So I've never had that happen before in my drowning rods, which most of the time I always get this trap down on, or this stake pushed down a lot farther. But the way this rock bottom is, that was just as as far down as I could get that stake anchored. But it worked. It done what it's supposed to. You can tell where he fought it on that tail, peeled that skin. So that beaver got caught, and because our anchor is sticking up above the water level instead of all the way down into the mud, that beaver got caught, come down, went underneath the rod, come back up, and then wrapped around this, tried to climb out, wrapped around this anchor sticking up, and it didn't go down a drowning rod. So that's a lesson learned, something to remember, you know. Or if we run into the same situation, it's something where we can't get our stake down, it's just something to be aware of. It might happen, and there might be something else we could do if this comes up again where we could avoid that. Possibly lay a big log across here or something. I don't know, guys, but that's what I was talking about earlier. It's always learning. This trapping, this process is always a learning experience, and I think that is one reason why I like trapping so much, because it is constant learning, constantly something different happening. All right, so hopefully we got that drowning rod working again. We'll push that rod, get this reset, and then push that rod all the way down, guys. Guys, PA Trapping and Outdoors made a comment on my channel this morning. I saw it. You know, I pulled these springs off of this side yesterday with a flat screwdriver. He said that he and I pulled it off with using this long spring with that flat screwdriver. He said he likes to take a claw hammer and come to this short area of the spring, and he'll take that claw hammer, pry that short spring up and get it over this little lip right here. I've tried that in the past, and it seemed like I had better luck trying to get that flat. I haven't tried the hammer. I've tried prying it off this side, and for me, it seemed like I had better luck getting the screwdriver underneath this long spring, prying it off. And of course, it all depends on where you're at. I mean, I don't have a claw hammer in the truck, so it wouldn't have worked for me this morning. But just again, talking about my ways, maybe not the right way or the way that everybody else does it, but it's the way that I get it done. And that's what matters, guys. That's what matters out here on the trap line. On your trap line, what matters is nothing more than you getting it done, whatever it takes. So there we go, got that knot latch back, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and push this rod back down now. There we go. Take that trap, we're gonna lay it right back on that shelf. We're going to kind of use a look. We're going to stick that ear up in that mud just a little bit there to hold it. I'm going to see if I can't push this down anymore, guys. But yeah, it's not happening. I'm not going down any farther than that. Chances are the two beaver we caught out of here are young adults. They probably hadn't had a litter of kits yet. So chances are we caught the two beaver that were living in this area. I'm going to leave that trap set for another day or two just to make sure we don't pick something else up. If we get out here and don't have catches in a day or two, a couple of mornings checks, then I'll get this one trap pulled out of here now and get it moved to another location. Get it working there instead of sitting here not working. All right, guys, I'm gonna work my way back up this hill and We'll get over there and get that last spot checked. All right, guys, we made it over here to to this ditch where I found the deer head at. And I marked this the very first time I come out here and said I put me a marker here just where I know where to park the truck. Well, I'm gonna take that marker down now. Right here's a major road that goes to a really good populated area just half a mile up the road here. And now I've been coming in here enough. I know this right here is the area I want to stop at. I mean, nothing else. I can see my tire tracks where I put my brakes on, and this is where my tire tracks stop. And someone that's wood smart may pick up on that, and then they'll see the trail that I've made going through the woods just since I've been walking in and out of here. You know, this trail hadn't been here, so someone that's a woodsman may understand that. But just your common person, just out killing some times, they're not going to pick up on those things. But they will notice a bright orange flag out here in the road. It'll make them stop, and then they may pick up on these things. So I'm just gonna just to avoid anybody else out here possibly messing with my sets or finding my secret deer head location, I'm gonna take that flag down for now. Guys, this dam too, I'm gonna leave it set like it is until after this storm, and then once this storm passes, just depending on the rain significance that we get associated with it, the water levels, I'm going to leave this set like it is. But first chance I get, I'm going to get over here, throw my waders on, walk on the upper side of this dam, try to find those bank dens, and quit playing with these beaver and get them caught out of this location. Lots of chew sticks. It's really as much activity that's going on here. I am extremely surprised. And I hear some fresh mud that they brought up here last night. Guys hadn't been being here. A little bit more right up here. I am extremely surprised we hadn't been catching any of these crossovers. So that first morning, catching that big beaver by the foot, him ringing out, has alerted these beaver in here to our presence. And they know what's going on. But anyway, guys, we've completely stopped them from using this dam by us placing these traps here and getting that miss that first night. So there, you can see all these chew sticks. There's going to be a significant amount of beaver in this area, in this upper part. So we're going to have the adults, probably going to have a couple of, just like that very first ditch, we'll have a couple of, I've never trapped it before, so there's going to be a full colony of beaver in here, and we need to get them caught. Pretty good flat area right up there where that orange barrel's at. Pretty good flat area, and we can put some castor mounds along through there. There's going to be some bank dens right along this edge, and of course we've got the hut over there that they're starting to build there. And I haven't been, besides that first morning walking in here, I haven't been past around that corner and through that section of the ditch very far. So I want to throw my waders on and see if I can identify some more spots to get set in here. I need to get it done, and we will as soon as this rain event gets over. But guys, thanks for watching. That's going to be it for today. A lot of talking, not a lot of action, but is what it is. And guys, I want to thank every one of you. I'm getting a lot of new subscriptions, and if you're new, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you. Guys, interact with me. I like those comments and interactions. If you got any questions, ask them. I may not know the answer, but maybe together we can figure it out. For you guys that's been with me for the beginning, I'm not even at a year yet on filming these things. That was my goal when I started this, was to film for a year. We're getting close. A little after Christmas will be when I put my first video out, but last year. But that was my goal. We're getting closer. All you guys has been with me from the beginning. I appreciate you. Words can't tell you, but thanks. And we'll see you guys next time. Y'all have a great day.